What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol MRVL for Marvell Technologies. On the left-hand side, we're looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, we have the 30-minute intraday time frame. First thing I need to point out to you is that we are going to expect an earnings announcement after the bell. I think it already came out. So let's flip on the extended hours session and see what is going on with the numbers. So wow, without even zooming in, you can clearly see a huge red-bodied candle to the downside. For the sake of today's video, we will assume that we're opening somewhere around the whole round number rather, $60.50, and that the overnight low will be somewhere down here around $58.52. So all of that being said, the first thing we have to think about whenever we have a large gap in one direction or another is the gap and trap and the gap and go. So the gap and trap is the first idea, and what we're looking at here is essentially if we open here, fail to take out the overnight low, trade back up through the open, that's your long signal to take the move into fill the gap at 62.83, today's low of day. The flip side of that coin, of course, is the gap and go, in which case we open here, we see a move lower, we consolidate down here instead of rebounding up into this area, so we never get into that. And instead, again, consolidation here, if we break the overnight low, you're looking for a move lower into our next critical zone of support from the daily, which I would argue is just underneath us here at 57.12, call it 57 the whole dollar. You can simply see a lower wick as well as a support pivot from in here before this most recent leg higher. If it really gets going underneath that, what is the next number to watch out for? I would argue it's probably here at 55-ish the whole dollar. If we get the click in there, you can see prior resistance then offered some support. And again, if we're coming all the way from an open here, I would have to imagine that we find some sort of support somewhere along the way, and 55 would kind of be that line in the sand to the downside if we see that overextension, oversold move develop. The last thing I'll sort of say about this is that it's going to be better if our open can get closer to the overnight low by the time the bell rings. And remember, a lot can happen between now and 9:30, but for the sake of illustration here, if we adjust this, let's say that we're opening closer to 59.50, then what that's done essentially is now if we do this, our entry is here. We now have much more meat on the bone or reward per se, and your risk is minimized because now it goes here and your entry is again much closer to that level. The same is true for the flip side, right? Because in this case, what you're looking for is this consolidation here breaking lower. Obviously your stop goes over the high of the day in that case, and again your risk would be minimized if those two numbers can get closer. So look for the open to work its way down lower towards the overnight low for a more ideal scenario, but if it remains high up here towards 60.75, 60.50, it's just going to make the trade a little bit harder to pull off. Do keep in mind Marvell has a soft spot in my heart. It was one of the first stocks I've ever traded, so I will certainly be watching this one at the bell tomorrow. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new, let me know down below in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.